Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am taking you with me on a normal workday. My workday normally starts super early at around 4:30 or 4:45. Right now, I'm just putting on my makeup. It's about 5 a.m. and I just got out of the shower. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am a full-time working mom and I have 2 kids and I have lots of fun content on my channel just like this, so I would love it if you would stick around. This morning I did not wash my hair. I had actually just gotten it cut the night before, which I was super excited about because I think it has been probably since January or February since I've had a haircut. I actually probably needed one when the pandemic started and obviously was just able to get one. I was not able to get it colored, but I do have an appointment for that coming up in a few weeks. My stylist did do like a keratin deep conditioning treatment on it, so I actually had to wait 24 hours to wash it, but either way it was freshly styled, so that cut down on my time to get ready this morning. Today I'm going to be taking you with me to work. Then after work, I'm going to be cooking a really awesome dinner that I'm going to share with you here in a little bit. I'll also be getting some chores done around the house and basically just sharing what a typical day looks like for me. Whenever I don't wash my hair, I usually like to actually straighten it before I put dry shampoo in it. It just works easier for me that way. And I will link the dry shampoo that I use down below. I really like it. It's the brand IGK. And I get it online from Ulta, but it's a charcoal shampoo. It smells really, really good and it works really well too. The only thing might be is if you have darker hair, it may leave a little bit of white in your hair. I'm not sure about that because I'm mostly blonde. Here's the outfit I'm wearing today. These gray slacks are from Torrid, and then the tank that I have on as well as this sweater are from Stitch Fix. I love Stitch Fix and I love getting a lot of my work clothes from there. Now it is time to go downstairs and let the dog out. Our dog Murphy always likes to go out in the morning and he is chasing a rabbit right there. You can see him. Don't worry, his bark is bigger than his bite. We do have an invisible fence system, so he's able to go out in the yard and run and play around, and we don't have to go out there with him, which is really nice, and he has the whole yard to run around in. So today for my food, I'm taking some fruit salad and a peanut butter English muffin for breakfast. For a snack, I'm taking some candied pecans that I got from Trader Joe's and a cheese stick. I'm also taking a butter chicken frozen dinner that I got from Trader Joe's and some hummus and cucumbers, which I did not end up eating all of this that day, but I always do try to get my food together the night before just so it's ready to go in the morning and I can do as little as possible so I can get out the door on time. Okay, so here is what I'm going to be cooking for dinner tonight. It is these steak and cheddar melts with a kale salad from Green Chef. And I also want to thank Green Chef for sponsoring today's video. You guys, I was so excited to make this and I can't wait to share it with you because it was the most delicious dinner I've had from a meal kit in a very long time. If you're not familiar with Green Chef, I've been using them on and off over the years and I've always been super satisfied with their service and the quality of food that they send. They are a USDA certified organic company and they include a lot of different meal plans, including paleo, plant powered. They also have keto, balanced living, and family plans. This was one of those days for me where I actually looked forward to cooking dinner when I got home from work because I knew that I had this meal waiting for me. And quite honestly, if I wouldn't have had it waiting for me, I probably would have gone through the drive-thru somewhere because I was just mentally exhausted after this day, and it was so nice to come home to this meal ready to cook. One thing that's nice about Green Chef is they have a ton of variety to choose from every week, a lot of different meals, and everything is pre-measured and portioned, so it saves time during the cooking process. I would encourage you guys to try Green Chef if you haven't before. If you would like to try it out, you can use the code Chapin60 to get $60 off your first 3 weeks, and that also includes free shipping on your first box. So go to greenchef.us/JenChapin60 to redeem your coupon and for more details. And I'll be sharing with you that recipe later on in the day. All right, so it's about 5:45 and I'm headed out the door now. I usually like to listen to some type of news or podcast on my way to work since I don't have time to sit down and, read any news in the morning. It's much more convenient for me to listen to it on the way. I will link a couple of podcasts that I listen to down below to get my morning news if you're interested. I do have about a 45-minute commute to work one way, and I always get asked a lot if I get tired of that or how can I do that every day. Obviously, right now I'm not doing it every day since I am working from home some, but I've worked in this hospital for, I guess it'll be almost 15 years now, and I guess I don't really know it any different. There's not really any large hospitals where I live, and so I've always had to drive to work, and I guess it doesn't bother me. I get some time to myself and listen to podcasts. Do you guys like my mask and my foggy glasses? It was kind of sprinkling and humid on this day. So now it's about 9:30 and I'm having my breakfast. I toasted my English muffin and I'm just squeezing some peanut butter on there. And then I also put on some strawberry jelly and I brought this fruit salad with it. It was delicious. I'm honestly not a huge fruit eater, but I've been trying more to like it, and having fruit salad prepped like that in the fridge has been super helpful for me. Now it's about 12:30 and I am eating lunch. This is the butter chicken frozen dinner from Trader Joe's, and it is so good. If you've never had it, I would totally recommend it. It definitely does not taste like a frozen dinner. All right, guys, good afternoon. It is 4:30. I guess it's more like evening than afternoon, really. I had such a busy day today. I just got off work and went and got gas, and I decided to treat myself to an iced latte because I feel like I need one right now. I worked in my office this morning on a bunch of stuff, just getting caught up on some different things, and then I worked in the call center this afternoon in the COVID call center. If you are new to my channel or you've never watched my Spend the Day With Me videos before, yawn. I am a nurse and I work in quality improvement, but right now we're still kind of in our emergency operations from COVID. And so we have a call center set up specifically for patients who call in with COVID concerns. And so today was a busy afternoon. So it's like sometimes I work over there and it's like super busy, and then sometimes I work over there and it's dead. But today was super busy, and I talked to some patients. I think most of all, people right now just want like assurance. And I talked to several people who had contact with a person who had contact with a person who had COVID, and so they were just like nervous. They didn't have any symptoms, and so I think sometimes people just want to like talk through it with someone and say, and we can, and I or whoever and we can coach them on, like, you know, these are the symptoms to watch out for, and, you know, just make sure that when you go out in public you wear a mask and wash your hands a lot, etc. So I think it's nice because some people just need that reassurance that, you know, they're doing the right thing and they don't need a test and everything. So got that done, and now I'm gonna go inside and get my coffee, and then I think when I get home I'm gonna cook some dinner, and I'm looking forward to not really having too much to do tonight. I'm kind of just wanting to relax, so we'll see what that ends up being. All right, so I got my coffee. One thing I wanted to ask before I go home, because you know the best place to chat is in my car, is sometimes I either get like questions or criticism, not necessarily criticism, but I think some people are like judgmental about the fact that I'm a nurse and I don't work in patient care right now, and some people are like almost triggered by it, like they feel like I'm like a sellout or something, or I'm not a real nurse or something like that. I've always wanted to talk about this on my channel, and I just never have, because I've always felt like I don't want to, you know, address negative comments too much. I mean, I do, because, you know, that's who I am. Like, I try not to like address the negativity or whatever, and sometimes I do, and we're all human and that happens, and we all react in certain ways to certain things, and you know, I'm pretty mouthy, and I know that about myself, and I know that turns some people off, and I feel like at times, you know, if you're online, you're just expected to receive judgment without the ability to retort back, because if you do answer back or retort back, then people say you're being defensive and you deserve the criticism because you put yourself out there and everything like that. I know I've talked about this before, but specifically about the nursing thing, I just wanted to talk about that because I know that some people are curious as to like what my job and career path has been. Like, how did I get from, you know, working as a bedside nurse to working where I am now. So if you guys are interested in that and you'd like a dedicated video on it, I can definitely do that. It would be more like a sit down video. I've had people ask me like, how do you choose a nursing school? How did you choose, you know, where to get your master's degree from, etc., etc. So if anyone's interested in that, I can film a video on that because I think it's a separate topic. But I think that if you are triggered by the fact that I am a nurse and I don't take care of patients anymore, like that can't be on me. Like, I am a person who really like internalizes like negativity and criticism, and so I always see that when people critique that or make comments like that, that they're trying to devalue my worth as a nurse and as an employee and as a woman and whatever. And I reject that because if you know anything about healthcare or any other industry, basically, is that it takes a lot of different people in a lot of different roles to run a healthcare system. Just like any other organization, you know, you might have you know, paralegals that start out as paralegals and then they go to law school and become a lawyer, and then they become a politician, and then they become this, you know. So just because someone is not practicing the very thing that they were initially educated for, I don't feel like they should be bashed for that. There are a lot of issues in healthcare that take people to solve those issues that not only have experience taking care of patients like someone like me, but that also has expertise in other areas. So like, I have expertise in, I'm a certified improvement advisor, which means that I have the ability to facilitate process improvement projects related to healthcare, and that's a unique skill set, and we need people like that. I also am skilled at data analytics and, you know, analyzing healthcare data and presenting healthcare data and all of those things that, you know, need to be done to keep a hospital running. And so I don't really talk about a lot of the minutia of what I do every day in my day-to-day job, but what I do and what the other people in my department do are just as important to our hospital and our organization than someone who is, you know, working in the lab or taking care of a patient or greeting patients at the door. I mean, everyone in the organization has a job. And so I just think that when people try to devalue me like that, it really hurts my feelings. It does. I mean, it hurts my feelings, but I just have to know that, you know, my skill set right now, I feel like is being utilized in a way that makes me satisfied and in a way that I feel like I'm making a difference. You know, just because I'm not, you know, physically at a patient's bedside taking care of them does not mean that I'm not helping to affect patient outcomes or helping to affect you know, positive change in the environment and things like that. So I don't know if any of that makes a lot of sense, but it's just a topic that comes up every so often. And like I said, I'm not trying to be negative or anything. I've worked in healthcare for a long time. I started working as a certified nurse's assistant or a CNA in a nursing home when I was 16, and I'm 37 now. And I've done every job in nursing all the way up. I've been a certified nursing assistant or an aide. I've been a ward clerk in a hospital or a unit clerk. I've been an LPN, or in some states they call it an LVN, licensed practical nurse. And I've been an RN, and now I am an RN with a master's degree. So I've had a lot of experience in healthcare over 20 years now. And so it's that old adage where, you know, you kind of see like the tip of the iceberg, but you don't see everything that went into that. And I feel like that's what some people are judging me on, you know, so and you haven't known me that whole 20 years. Well, unless you're one of my friends or family, then you probably have. Anyway, I'm gonna go home and drink my coffee, and then we're gonna make some dinner. All right, so I got home, changed my clothes, I emptied the dishwasher, and then I realized that the bottom filter of my dishwasher needed to be cleaned out. If you guys have never done this before, you probably should, because it's probably pretty disgusting. I usually take ours out and clean it. Usually about once a month is adequate, but if you let it go longer than that, it does get pretty disgusting. But basically, you can just twist it out, and then I usually just wash it under hot water in the kitchen sink with a scrub brush and some soap, and it's pretty easy to get clean. I'm definitely one of those people who does not like to clean like all in one, 6-hour block on the weekends. I try to just do it as I go throughout the week. I just think it's more manageable for me that way. I'm not someone who particularly enjoys cleaning. I know there are people out there that really, really like it. I don't hate it. It's just not my favorite thing. I'd rather be cooking. So definitely it's something that I have to break up into manageable chunks. Before I got started cooking, I definitely wanted to get the dirty dishes into the dishwasher. I'm one of those people that cannot start cooking in a dirty kitchen, so it's always important for me to get the sink cleaned out, especially since I had some kale that I was going to have to wash in the sink. On this particular night, it was Friday, and so I didn't have that normal sense of urgency that I had to get everything done super early in the evening, just because I knew I'd get to sleep in the next day. So here's a look at the ingredients for the steak sandwiches that I'm going to be sharing with you. Tons of fresh ingredients. Everything was super high quality. I was actually really excited to try this kale salad because it has figs in it, and I have such a hard time finding figs around here. There was one recipe that I wanted to make several months ago, and I think I filmed it. I cannot remember what video it was in, but it was a recipe that called for dried figs, and I kind of live in a smaller town, and a lot of times I can't find that stuff around here. So that's another thing that I like about getting meal delivery kits like Green Chef is that I can try out new ingredients or maybe hard to find ingredients that I can't normally get in my area. So for these dried figs, I'm just using a really sharp paring knife to cut them in half. And I'm going to assemble the salad first before I start cooking the meat, just because I want to give that dressing time to kind of soak into the kale and tenderize it a little bit. And then with the figs, if you leave them in with the dressing, they'll plump up a little bit as well. So I allowed the kale to soak and clean off a little bit. Then I drained it and spun it dry with my salad spinner. I am just chopping this into a little bit smaller pieces. You definitely don't have to do this, but I always find, especially with kale, that it's easier to eat if it's in smaller pieces. I'm just putting this into a bowl, and then what we're going to do is put in some of the dressing that came with the meal kit and then massage the kale. If you've never done this before, or you've never, tried to make a raw kale salad before, this really helps tenderize the greens, and I think it makes it taste a lot better. If you're a person that has an aversion to eating raw kale, this really helps. I would encourage you to try it. Next, I'm going to sprinkle in the figs that I chopped up, and then also there are some shredded carrots that go in this salad. I am going to season it with salt and pepper, and this actually kept really well left over too. We had some left over, and I just kept it in the refrigerator overnight, and I ate it for lunch the next day. It was really good even the next day. I actually added some blue cheese to it the following day, which was really, really delicious. Okay, so now I'm going to get started on sauteing the beef. This shaved steak was super tender and delicious. You guys know sometimes when you get like shaved steak from the grocery store that sometimes it's kind of tough, but this was not at all. It was really tender, and I seasoned it with this brown sugar steak seasoning. I also added some of the mustard aioli at the end of cooking, like the recipe said, and you saw me sauteing some onions to start as well. After everything is done, I turn the heat off and I put some shredded cheddar cheese over the top and just let that sit until it melted. The box obviously came with some brioche buns. I toasted those in the oven, and then I just piled the steak and the cheese mixture on top of the bun, and then it does come with extra of the mustard aioli sauce to put on the bun. This was like the best combination I've had in so long. I am glad we had leftovers of this because I ate some the next day for supper as well. They were really, really good. Here is the kale salad that went on the side, and this was delicious. Adam really also enjoyed this meal. Go to greenchef.us/JenChapin60 to redeem your coupon and for more details. This was totally a win, and I would encourage you guys to check out Green Chef. I have always been super satisfied with them. All right, so this is a joke in our house. Every time The Fifth Element is on, Adam has to turn it on the TV, and I literally cannot stand this movie. It is so annoying. All right, so I got these beautiful flowers from my friend Siobhan for getting 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I want to take a second to thank her publicly for that. It was super sweet. And she actually lives in the UK. So how cool is it now that we live in an age where we can send flowers from a different country? I just think that is so awesome. And thank you again, Siobhan. Okay, so I also wanted to clean my stove off after dinner. You guys can see kind of how gross it was. I guess not super duper bad, but a lot of crumbs on it. So I did have room in the dishwasher for the grates to the top of the stove. So I just went ahead and took those off and put them in the dishwasher with the rest of the dishes. And then I also took the burner elements off and put those in the top rack of the dishwasher as well. I'm using this crud cutter, cleaner to clean the top of my stove, which I find works the best. And then I also like to use this range top scrubber cloth from eCloth. I'll have all of these products linked in the description box below. I know a lot of people struggle with cleaning their stove, and I'm not saying it's my favorite thing in the world to do, but I kind of have a process by which I can get it clean and it looks nice. So after I use the crud cutter with that cloth, I just put some all-purpose cleaner on it. I'm using Mrs. Meyer's, and I wipe that off with a paper towel, and then the last step is Windex. You can see that I have a black stovetop, and so I always find that Windex gets it the cleanest and the most streak-free. For the top of my stove, it's mostly stainless steel, so I like using the Wyman stainless steel cleaner, and it also comes with a microfiber cloth, and it works super well. It's the best thing that I've found to clean my stainless steel appliances in my kitchen. And since I had it out, I went ahead and worked on the refrigerator as well. It had been one of those weeks where I had been walking by the refrigerator every day and seeing little fingerprints on it, and I just made myself do it since I had all the stuff out, and the rag was dirty. It was just easy enough for me to do it. Wyman also makes some stainless steel wipes, which are also good, but you still do need that microfiber cloth to wipe up the cleaner. The cleaner is kind of hard to explain. It's like a little bit greasy feeling, but it does the job on stainless steel really well. Okay, so now this is a super big joke in my house, that I always just perch myself on the counter and either like eat snacks or look at my phone. I don't know why I do this, but I do it all the time, and I'll just be like watching a video or something, and next thing I know, it's 20 minutes later and Adam's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know." But I just had to capture that because I think it's funny, and probably no one else does that except me. All right, so it's almost time for bed. I'm going to go ahead and get my face washed. I am loving this new face wash that I got. It's the Is Clinical Cleansing Complex. You need just a tiny little bit to clean your face, and it works super well. I'm also going to get my teeth brushed, and I have talked about this in a few previous videos, but I've been really trying to make sure that I take better care of my skin and wash my face at night. It's something that I haven't always been great at doing, and I don't prefer to use the makeup wipes. I don't know why. They feel like soapy to me, and it does get the makeup off, but I still feel like I need to rinse my face afterwards or something. So I just don't prefer it. I have one of these cloth makeup remover wipes. It's like a cloth one that you can actually put in the washer, and it works really well. So any of these products that I'm using to wash my face or take my makeup off, I will link down below. My favorite eye makeup remover is still the Clinique eye makeup remover. That's my favorite. And then I also love the Clinique toner. I've tried different toners before, but so far that's still my favorite. I don't think I mentioned this before, but you saw me putting my makeup on this morning, and I do have a sit-down vanity in my bathroom, which is really nice to be able to sit there and do your skincare both in the morning and at night. I'm using the Clinique toner that I talked about before. I tried I think it was the Ordinary toner, and I really did not like it at all. So now I have a bottle that I don't know what to do with. But the next thing I'm using is a skin brightening serum from Is Clinical also, and I'm using this because my skin tone tends to be uneven and I have like red patches, and so I'm trying that out to see if it will help with some of the redness. And you guys, I'm almost 40, so that means I need eye cream now. And I really like the It Cosmetics eye cream. I don't know. I've tried several different ones. This one is my favorite so far. But I really feel like I'm an adult grown-up sitting here talking to you guys about my skincare. But seriously, it's taken me so many years to learn how to like treat my skin right and just invest in the time that it takes to do your skincare in the morning and in the evening. And I know that sounds silly, but I know you guys know how I feel too. Just at the end of the day, the last thing you want to do is sit there for 10 minutes and put all your lotions and potions on, but it really does help. So now I'm going to crawl into bed. Adam was not going to bed yet at this time. He's been staying up later ever since this whole COVID-19 thing. He's been staying up later and sleeping in a little bit, especially on the weekends. But I always tell him, listen, I need to go upstairs and get horizontal because I just want to lay in my bed and drink my water and watch some watercolor painting videos on YouTube and go to sleep or something like that. But that was it for this day. So I hope you guys enjoyed following me all day and seeing what I do on a normal work day. Don't forget to try out Green Chef. I looked at the menus for the upcoming few weeks and they look really good. Let me know if you guys decide to try it. There is that $60 coupon code in the description box below. If you guys are interested in more Working Mom Day in the Life videos, there are a couple here on the right side of your screen that you can click on. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.